Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to tackle a tech emergency we've literally all faced. You reach into your pocket or pick your phone up off the desk, you tap the screen, and nothing. It's just an endless void of black glass. Before you panic and rush out to an expensive repair shop, let's take a deep breath and work through the data together.
We've all had that heart-dropping moment, but the absolute first question we have to answer is your device actually dead or is it just playing possum? You see, a black screen is rarely a single-issue failure. It's usually a symptom of something else. And understanding the root cause is going to help you skip unnecessary steps and avoid a total misdiagnosis.
Because here is a wildly reassuring fact. A massive 85% of the time, the issue is purely software or battery related. Look at this breakdown. 42% of the time, it's just a depleted battery where the residual charge is literally too low to even power the display. Another 28% is a software crash or OS freeze, which happens a lot after an update. Add in the 11% caused by a dirty charging port, and that means the vast majority of the time, you can fix this whole shebang yourself, right at home in under 90 seconds.
To get there, here's our survival guide for today. We'll cover diagnosing a dead phone, decoding phone reset jargon, the universal soft reset, fixes without power buttons, intensive care and advanced resets, and finally, a hazard warning for swollen batteries.
Let's dive right into Section 1, diagnosing a dead phone and checking the vitals.
It is absolutely crucial that you follow this exact diagnostic flow before you do anything drastic. First up, verify basic responsiveness. Just hold the power button down for 10 seconds. Do you feel a vibration? Do you hear a sound? If you do, great news. The phone is actually powered on, and the display subsystem is just isolated. Second, inspect and clean out that charging port. Grab a nylon brush or some compressed air, but absolutely no metal tools, okay? You're looking for packed-in lint or green corrosion. Third, give it a 30-minute wall charge. And I really want to stress the words wall charge here. Laptop USB ports often supply half an amp or less. That is just a tiny trickle of power, and it's nowhere near enough current to wake a deeply drained battery. People mistake no screen for no power all the time when the device really just needs time to register a charge. Only after you've done these 3 steps should we move on to step 4, the forced restart.
Which brings us to Section 2, decoding phone reset jargon and why you shouldn't panic.
So there is a massive difference between a harmless soft reset and a total factory wipe. A factory wipe is something you should only ever use as an absolute last resort. A soft reset is simply initiating a reboot from within the device's software or using your hardware keys to force that reboot. It's totally harmless. Absolutely no data is lost. A factory reset, on the other hand, completely restores your device to the exact state it was in the day you bought it. All your user data, your photos, your messages, gone. We are focusing purely on the safe, data-preserving soft reset today.
Just to clear up one more term you might hear floating around, a hard reset. Historically, this literally meant forcibly stopping power to the device by physically yanking the battery out. Back in the day, if your phone froze, you just popped the back plastic cover off and pulled the battery. But modern phones don't exactly have user-replaceable batteries anymore, so a true hard reset really isn't an option for us. Instead, we rely on specific button combinations that are programmed to instantly cut the circuit internally.
Let's move into Section 3, the universal soft reset, which is essentially first aid for your devices. Now, finding the right combination for your specific phone is the key to this whole thing, because pressing the wrong combination on a MediaTek budget Android versus a Samsung Galaxy will get you absolutely nowhere. For an iPhone 8 or newer, it's a quick press of volume up, a quick press of volume down, and then you hold the side button until that Apple logo pops up. For a Samsung Galaxy, you need to hold power and volume down together for a full 15 seconds. Google Pixels are beautifully simple. Just hold the power button for 30 seconds. But definitely pay attention to this last one. Budget Androids often require power and volume up. If you use volume down on those specific chips, it fails the vast majority of the time.
All right, Section 4, fixes without power buttons or clever workarounds.
What happens if your actual physical power button is totally broken and your screen is asleep? Well, you still have some clever workarounds. First, simply plugging the phone into the wall or USB charger will often instantly wake it from a sleep state. Second, so many modern smartphones have a built-in double tap to wake feature. You just tap the glass twice and the screen lights right up. And third, if your button is failing but your phone is currently turned on, you can dive into your settings and utilize scheduled power on-off. This lets you manage when your phone reboots automatically without ever needing to rely on that physical hardware button.
Moving along to Section 5, intensive care and advanced resets. If the basic soft reset didn't work, our tech triage has to escalate. Let's say you need to figure out if a rogue download is causing your phone to boot loop. On Android, you can enter safe mode, which temporarily disables all third-party apps. Just open the power menu, touch and hold the power off option, and then tap safe mode when it asks to restart. If your screen lights up briefly and then goes black, boot into this mode. If the phone works perfectly here, you know a poorly coded app, maybe a shady battery optimizer, or a weird screen dimmer is the culprit. You can then just go in and uninstall recent apps until the problem goes away.
But we also have to talk about hardware failure indicators. If you experience symptoms like hearing your notification sounds but seeing pitch black glass, or if you plug it into a PC and the computer instantly recognizes it as a device, or if you can actually see visible physical damage near the hinge or bezel, you're dealing with an actual hardware failure. If you've charged it for 45 minutes and tried the correct force restart and the phone vibrates but the screen is totally inert, the internal display connection, like the flex cable, is very likely severed. This is the exact point where DIY magic stops and you need to visit a certified repair professional.
Finally, Section 6, a hazard warning regarding swollen batteries.
We need to transition to the hazmat phase here because a swollen battery isn't a software glitch. It's a highly volatile buildup of heat and gas caused by overcharging, deep discharge, or just manufacturing defects. Lithium-ion batteries pack a massive amount of energy, but they absolutely hate high temperatures and stress. As the University of Reading Health and Safety explicitly states, do not ever try to puncture the bulge. Puncturing a swollen lithium-ion battery may lead to fire and explosion. If you notice your phone screen bulging outward or the back casing splitting open, the battery has entered a very dangerous state and could potentially trigger a thermal runaway cycle. If you see this, you must isolate the device safely away from combustibles and never ever throw it into your general waste bin. Even if the device still sort of works, stop using it immediately. Do not plug it in. If you happen to have a lithium-ion fire and smoke containment bag, use it. If not, get it into a cool, dry container outside. This requires proper safe disposal through dedicated electronic waste channels. No exceptions.
Well, we have covered a ton of ground in this explainer today, from diagnosing a simple dead battery to executing the absolute perfect soft reset for your specific brand, and even knowing exactly when to walk away from a dangerous swollen device. The next time you face the dreaded black screen of death, just remember this triage process and you'll likely have it fixed in under 90 seconds. But as we wrap up and looking at how volatile these batteries can become, it really makes you wonder, are your daily charging habits putting your phone's battery health at risk?